Hello and welcome back to another video, and today, as you can see, we're on MotoGP 21 once again, and we are here with Maverick Vinales on the Aprilia. So this is probably a mod people have been looking forward to for a while, since the obviously shock announcement that Vinales was parting ways with Yamaha, and then the very quick subsequent announcement where he was going to be coming onto the Aprilia. Obviously he did the test, and then basically within half a day of testing they decided he was going to race at Aragon, so it was all very quick. So we've managed to cobble this mod together. It's not 100% perfect because he's reverted back to his 2020 helmet design with some tweaks, so it doesn't actually match what's in the game because the game obviously has his 2021 design in there, so that's not 100% accurate. And the model is different now, so I can't just put the old texture on and then just edit that. So unfortunately at the minute the helmet is going to be a little bit mismatched to what's in real life, but not much I can really do about that. I've recolored the blue to red on the helmet that's in game currently, but it obviously doesn't match the design of the one that he's currently been using. But either way, we're here doing a race at Aragon. It's going to be a very tough race because I'm not very good at Aragon. You can see the tyres are worn, so I actually did do qualifying to try and bed myself in a little bit, and I did legitimately qualify last. So hopefully I can make up some positions on the opening lap and try and fight my way through, because I think it's a 6-lap race overall, so it is going to be quite a tough race. The game is recommending medium tyres, so that's what I'm going to definitely go with. But yeah, this will be part of the next update of Project 21, which hopefully should be releasing within the next couple of days. Hopefully later today, honestly, if I can. But I do need to still tweak a few things. Obviously, you can see for Vinales, everything is mostly okay, but there are probably still a few tweaks for some other areas of the update. But enough rambling about that. Let's get this race started. We're not going to be fighting at the front once again. It's going to be similar to the video at Silverstone, I believe, where we're going to probably be fighting towards the back.
Riders have taken their place on the grid. Everything is ready. Just a few seconds to go, and we'll get lights out at Motorland Aragon for the start of the race.
Well, the starting grid is almost correct, actually, I've just noticed. Just swap around Miller and Bagnaia, and it's the real life one. But wait for the lights to go here then. And Aragon, lights out, and away we go. We've had a great start compared to Petrucci, so we've got past Petrucci already. Are we going to get the two Avintias as well? It seems like we have. So we brake for the first corner and try to brake as late as possible. Around the outside of Rossi, we've got Brad Binder. On the inside, Brad Binder's crashed. Brad Binder has gone down. I don't know if he's took anybody else with him, but fortunately we managed to get through that. But here we go, we're right on the back of Oliveira now. There's Nakagami just in front of us. Nakagami runs a bit wide, but cutting at the inside. This has been a fantastic start. Here we are on the outside now of Jake Dixon. There's our teammate just in front of us, Aleix Spagro. That's got to be the target. We've had contact with Dixon. Dixon's down. Dixon is down. I've had to go off the circuit to avoid Jake Dixon's bike. I've come back on the track now. We're back behind Petrucci. So Petrucci as well, who started alongside me, of course, had a fantastic start. We've got both the Tech 3s in front of us, actually, Petrucci and Lecuona. But that was a very hectic start with a couple of crashes. I'm guessing everybody behind us except Marini's fell off then, because Dixon is 16th place. And he's just fell off. So what a chaotic start. Been a fantastic start until the contact with Dixon. The AI in front having a bit of a battle. Hopefully that allows us to stick on the back, because we weren't miles off the pace. I was only a couple of tenths off the back of Petrucci, so I know that in a race situation I probably can keep up with them. I just can't lose too much time on this opening lap. That's the problem. So down towards the first corner at the start of this second lap. They haven't dropped us at all. You can see we are still part of the group. I managed to close up a little bit through the last sector. Although my first corner wasn't ideal. I didn't flip the bike over for 2 that well. So I think the first sector definitely is one of my weaker sectors. I think it's, of course, on the first lap. The AI are a little bit slow, a little hesitant, so you can make up some time there. So I need to obviously try and stick with them through the first sector. I think it's probably the second sector is a bit more of a better sector for me. I think that's where I was doing well in career mode the other day, but we've picked up a track limits warning, almost had a crash on the curb as well, so I do need to maybe settle it down. But I just want to try and get on the back of Petrucci and Lecuona, try and pass them, and then so 2 reps of Hondas in front of them. So if we could pass both of those riders as well, that'd be fantastic, because then that would put us right behind Aleix. This is the corkscrew. Lecuona is actually attacking Marc Marquez. So Iker Lecuona is about to take 11th off Marquez. Oh, that was close actually. He didn't quite do it. He got squozed quite a lot by Mark there. That was an extremely close moment. I am pushing so hard. I am so bad at Aragon. And the same thing happens with the drive as well. You can carry so much more speed through the corner, which would therefore, relate to the more momentum you carry onto the straight. But they just get away so much. It looks like we've got plenty of Palmo 3 to use. And here we go to the outside of Petrucci. We're going to go around the outside of him. Around the outside of Lecuona as well. Oh, we've properly squozed Lecuona. We've probably had him off. I think I have actually had Lecuona off. No, actually, he's just lost a position to Petrucci, but I didn't mean to squeeze him that much. I thought I was going to swoop more around the outside, but we've picked off the 2 Tech 3 set at the end of that lap, 46.2. I think that's quicker than I did in qualifying, actually, so that's definitely some sign of progress. Marquez battling with a Spagro in front, so maybe they can try and hold each other up a little bit, and that'll allow me to actually get up into the top 10, which actually would be a very good result from the back of the grid on the Aprilia. Especially considering how I expected the race to go. I expected to just drop like a stone off the back of the pack, but so far, that's not quite been the case. It actually helps so much being able to follow the AI through some of those sections, because you can sort of just brake where they brake. It makes some of the braking so much easier, but we're right on the back of pole now, around the outside. This is not going to work at all. We're definitely going to end up off the track. Yes, we have. I didn't want to go on the outside of him. I just closed on him a lot more than I expected, but honestly, we haven't really lost anything. If anything, we probably gained a bit of a better drive onto this straight. We need to try and pass Pole now because he's dropping off the back of Marquez. We're looking at the inside of him. Oh, that would have been a risky pass. But fortunately, I backed out of it, didn't go for it. Although now we've got the run through 2. We might also have a tack up into turn 3 at the inside. We go with Polo Spagaro. Oh, that was so close, but we've made the move up into 11th place. So up next then is Marc Marquez. Then it is our teammate Aleix Espargaro. If we can get past Marc, that would be good enough for me, honestly. I think that's going to be tough in itself because he's got a fairly decent sized gap over me. I've just got to hope maybe that he hits some tyre trouble or something and drops back towards me a bit. So I'm lapping around about the same pace as Marquez at the minute, which obviously is not going to be enough to catch him, but at least it means we're not falling away. We're actually pulling away from, it's now Lecuona behind. We've got 6/10 over him. So Lecuona seems to have followed us through because he passed Petrucci. He's now passed Polo Spagaro as well. So Lecuona probably had decent pace until we kind of ruined him a bit. Oh, I made a big mistake on the curb there, though. That's definitely my chance of beating Marquez gone now. We've just got to try and bring this one home in front of Lecuona, I think. That's got to be the target now. Yeah, gone in hot again. I think I'm starting to struggle now. Oh, Lecuona straight through as I say that. So what a bad lap this has been. We've lost touch to Marquez and now lost a position to Lecuona. However, we are in a position where I can actually take this back, I think. Maybe we can have an attack down towards turn 12. We'll have to see. We're closing on him a little, but it's not going to be enough. The bike's hop, skipping and jumping on the way in here. The front tyre is actually very worn. The medium is just about going to get to the end of the race, but it would be pretty touch and go. Hopefully we could try and get Lecuona down into the last corner like we did previously on him. So up into power mode 3, on the power earlier than Lecuona. This time he actually didn't get the drive really compared to me. I suppose he got it on the flat bit of the tyre a bit quicker though. But here we go, flying past him in that power mode 3. That definitely is the most powerful tool you have to fight the AI in this game, because their pace is actually fantastic. I'm not going to lie, there's not many tracks where they're poor anymore. They're pretty decent at a lot of tracks, which is really good to see. As you can see, I'm enjoying myself. I'm in a good battle, but it's not like it was in the previous video. It was a battle for nothing. I've actually fought my way up into a decent position legitimately. I know, of course, there were crashes, but they all happened behind me, so it's not like I was a benefactor of those. We are going to have to watch out for Lecuona, because he'll probably try and attack at the corkscrew like he did on the previous lap. Oh, he's already right behind me. Of course, if he does attack there, it's not the end of the world, because we know we can get him back. I've gone in way too hot, though, on the way in. I've gone way too hot. We've completely messed that up. Oh, more contact with Lecuona. Lecuona definitely has to hit the deck this time. And now, all of a sudden, Marini and Polo Spagaro have got at the inside. So this race is completely flipped on its head. Apologies to Lecuona, because I've absolutely destroyed him by the looks of it. And it seems like I don't know if something happens to Petrucci, because Petrucci's a fair few seconds behind us now, but oh, that was completely my bad. I completely messed up the chicane. As soon as these tyres have started to go off, my pace absolutely dropped and my riding has been pretty atrocious. We're right on the back of Polo Spagaro. Hopefully we could try and get him at the very least, but hopefully we could try and get past Marini as well if we could set this chicane up well. So here we go, then we're right in the slipstream of Pol. Can we try and get past him? Yes, we can. Can we get past Marini as well? I think we can. So back up into 11th position. Crazy how much time we've lost to Marquez, so we ended up 4 seconds behind him. These last couple of laps have been rough. I was very fast on the first few, you can see the 46s, but then we dropped obviously over a second a lap really. Built towards the line then, it's going to be 11th place in this one. A pretty decent debut that would be for Maverick Vinales on the Aprilia. So my pace overall was not too bad. Obviously on the last couple of laps we lost a ton of time, mainly down to contact really. Obviously with Lecuona we lost a fair amount of time. You can see a lot of riders finishing miles behind. I guess that's because they crashed, although Dixon was not that far behind Petrucci and ourselves, really. He was only 10 seconds behind me, and he had a crash, so I suppose that's not ideal. But even still, that 11th place is definitely deserved because I got up to that position on my own. It wasn't because of the crashes ahead of me, so I actually do feel quite happy about that. And considering that we're on an Aprilia, last to 11th, pretty decent to be honest. I'll absolutely take that. Only a few seconds off the back of Aleix as well. Aleix was 4 seconds off the win, so we were only 5 seconds off Aleix. And really, we lost all that in the last couple of laps. Before that, we were only probably about 3 seconds behind him, which, honestly, is not too bad. But I do want to quickly go and have a look at some of those crashes on the first lap, because, of course, I think Binder probably was the one that caused the most carnage, because I think Dixon's bike sort of ran off the circuit, so he probably just... I think it was only Dixon that crashed. I don't think it collected anybody else. So we'll watch it from the TV cam, then down towards the first corner, because we were very, very close to the incident. Brad Binder was on the inside of the track. I think he braked to avoid Lecuona. Actually, he clipped the curb. He fell off there. And that's a bit interesting. So actually only a couple of riders did go down there. So Dixon's crash must have caused the view as well. We'll stay on board with the TV cam just to see what happens next. You can see myself around the outside of Dixon. Then obviously me and Dixon collided. So I was going around the outside. I turned in on him a little touch. Down he went. And then, yes, you can see quite a few sort of followed him. But I'm not necessarily sure if they actually crashed into him or whether they just took the front trying to avoid him. So we'll go back to the very start and have a look at that crash first, and then we'll have a look at the Dixon one afterwards. So on board with Binder then, down towards the first corner. You can see myself on the outside. He goes at the inside of Rossi. Actually, he just carried way too much speed into that first corner. So I can 100% see how that crash actually happened if we slow it down a little bit. So Binder's on the inside. He goes into the corner. He sees there's a gap, so he sort of releases the brake again. He's on the curb. The line itself actually is not too bad, but he would have been upset by the curb, and then he's hit Rossi. So he's clipped by Rossi there, obviously, because he just sort of goes into him. So down he goes, and if we swap probably to Rossi, we'll swap to Bastianini right behind. Rossi just sort of runs into him. Actually, if we do swap to Rossi, it might be an interesting shot, because Rossi hasn't actually crashed yet, so we get the proper view. Rossi just runs into him. His bike does a really weird shape right here. If we can go into the photo mode. He is really crossed up. He's about to go down because he's being pushed from behind by Bastianini as well. Yeah, and Bastianini pushes his rear around. Down he goes, and obviously Bastianini then is just crashing into a motorcycle that's on the ground, so he's never going to come off good from that. If we swap to Bastianini... Oh, okay. That makes more sense. Bastianini sort of ramps up Rossi's bike, and then that sends Rossi's bike up into the air as well, so... Yeah, bit of an interesting crash, that one, but that was 3 riders down the first corner because of Binder. And then myself and Dixon. So we're around the outside of him. I think this is my fault, to be honest. I was just trying to go around the outside. He had a little bit more room to go inwards, but of course I'm the one that sort of turned in on him, really. So this crash probably is my fault, same with the corner one. But up the inside then, Dixon goes down. He skittles my bike out. You don't see anything from anybody else's. So I don't think anyone's actually hit him. It must have just been when they were avoiding him, they all fell off. So we've watched from Lecuona just to see who was actually caught up in it. See, Dixon goes down. Okay, actually they did tag his bike. It looks like it was Nakagami that hit his bike first. If we swap to Nakagami. Into the corner they go. He goes down. Nakagami literally just clips the rear of Dixon's bike, but at that much lean, of course he's going to go down. And then, sort of chain reaction, Oliveira hits into him as well. And then Alex Marquez, it seems, then also hits into Oliveira. So Oliveira hits Nakagami. And yeah, Alex Marquez hits that bike, and that's 3 down there. So really a chaotic first lap, and if we then just swap later on to see the crash between myself and Lecuona again. So this is probably my biggest mistake of the race. We went so hot into the corkscrew, I've then got to try and just make the corner, because I don't really want to go through the gravel. And unfortunately, that's just as Lecuona's coming around the corner, and there's nothing I could do to avoid him, honestly. Absolutely nothing. It would be my fault for rejoining the track unsafely, but yeah, I couldn't turn any more. It's not like I deliberately crashed into Lecuona. It's just once I'd ran wide, that was really it, curtains. I mean, of course, Lecuona could easily have avoided this accident by sitting up, but that doesn't mean he's at fault. It's still definitely my fault, but I just clattered into him. If you look at this, though, Lecuona very nearly stays on. The rear is the one that stepped out, and as he gets traction on the rear again, then the front is just completely overloaded, and down he goes. So that was really unfortunate for Lecuona. It was completely my mistake. Those last couple of laps, because this is like this is the final lap, lap 6. And on lap 5, I was right behind Mark still. So I lost 4 seconds to Mark on like the last 2 laps. So that's how bad I was riding on the last couple of laps, all the mistakes I was making. But overall, other than that, I think it was a pretty good race. I think I did a decent job. So we had the contact with Dixon on the first lap. very, very minor contact, and then it was obviously the big issue with Lecuona. But other than that, I think it was a decent race. But either way, I hope you guys did enjoy that one. Next time we do one of these races to go alongside the real race weekend, it will be Misano, which is a much better track for myself. Aragon is quite a weak one, so I was actually quite surprised at the level of performance, to be honest. That was good. I think that's 2 races at Aragon in a row now that I've finished 11th with the Moto2 career and this, so it seems to be about 11th place is my sweet spot here at Aragon, regardless of the class. But Misano, we should be a bit better there, much more on the pace, especially if we are on a Yamaha playing as Dovi as well. So that should be a pretty decent race for you guys. So look forward to that. It will be sometime next week. But I hope you guys did enjoy this one. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you all stay safe, and I shall see you in the next one.